From the catacombs of Odessa to the mysterious places in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, here are 15 strange places in Ukraine. Hey guys, this is your host, American Eye. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy that video. Number 15. Entertainment Park of Miniatures. Ukraine might be home to a lot of things, but did you know the capital city of Ukraine is home to one of the best miniatures museums in the world? What it lacks in size, it makes up for in quantity. That's right. This is the world's biggest collection of miniature models, and it seems to be quite realistic. Anything from tiny statues to things you need a microscope to see are all found here. Don't miss out on their mini toy train tracks and historical sites of Ukraine. Number 14. Kharkov Tank Repair Facility. Do you need to scrap up some metal to build a tank for the zombie apocalypse? This might be the right place. Located in Ukraine, this place was full of Soviet T-80s, T-64s, and T-72 tanks. Someone named Pasha broke into the abandoned facility and captured these great photos. Here we got tanks on tanks on tanks. There are also tank engines, tank parts, wires, treads, and pretty much everything you can imagine that's tank related. It used to be where many mechanics would repair tanks back to their former glory, but as far as we can tell, Ukraine isn't doing much with these tanks anymore. Number 13. The Tunnel of Love. The Tunnel of Love is proof that there can be strange places that are also romantic. Located in Kiev, Ukraine, this tunnel is not made from cement or stone, but with trees and plants that change colors during different seasons. The railway belongs to a factory who transports wood there, and it is formed naturally due to different types of plants. The 2-mile-long stretch of the tunnel is just long enough for romantic hikes round trip. Due to the unique setting, reviews around the world have rated it as being a perfect place for wedding photos. With the help of the internet, the word has spread, and construction for more tourism-related buildings are expanding. Number 12. Piscean Castle. Located in western Ukraine, this was built by the Polish and Lithuanian Commonwealth just 80 miles of one of Ukraine's cultural capitals of Lviv. The construction was ordered by one of the most powerful military officers of the Commonwealth between 1635 and 1640 because of the strategic location. It's guarded by a moat and a drawbridge along with iron cannons. The castle seemingly was transformed into a palace with additions of a private zoo, vineyards, and a small trout pond. It wouldn't be long, however, until foreign armies would seek to control this strategic fort and various empires would ransack it for its plunder. There was almost a constant battle going on here from the 17th century up until World War II, when it was looted by the Soviets. The Soviets destroyed various walls and transformed it into a tuberculosis sanitarium in the 1950s. The castle nearly completely burnt down in 1956, destroying valuable artwork. You can still see the scars from all the abuse this castle has endured. Number 11. Odessa Catacombs. There might be a lot of catacombs out there in Europe, but something just seems a tad bit more creepy about the ones in Odessa after doing some research. Originally built as a limestone quarry, it's supposed to be closed off to the public, but people still find a way in there. Photos have been captured of people having concerts there, and it appears as though it's about as underground as it can get. The catacombs in Odessa, Ukraine have a massive tunnel system that stretches out to be about 1,500 miles under this Slavic beach town. That's longer than San Diego to Seattle. And it's not just bones you might find here, there's a lot of shady things going on. It has a very haunting history, and criminals are known to hide out here. It's been the location of all kinds of strange activity. Recently, a woman explored these tunnels and never even came back. Rumors of treasure here have encouraged many urban explorers to check it out, but only enter if you dare. Number 10. Colorful Trolls. Complete with blue, red, green, and yellow statues, this strange place definitely deserves a place on this list. If you haven't been to the capital city of Kiev, you might not know about these 4 young men. It's possible these could have been constructed just to make Russia mad. It's one of those offbeat tourist attractions you don't expect to find while strolling through the park. It's not really sure if people are supposed to climb up the poles, but it would really be a colorful experience. It's said to have been the victim of many vandalists, and some have felt offended by it. Number 9. The Duga radar installation. The Duga radar installation in the Chernobyl exclusion zone is an abandoned Soviet military project that is just completely massive. This was constructed in order to detect enemy aircraft, missiles, or other objects before they were able to fly into Russia. The radio waves this thing would give off would lead to mysterious noises being heard on shortwave radios. This gave it the nickname of the woodpecker because of the strange tapping noise. Several countries complained about it but had no idea where it was coming from. The extreme height of the radar system would allow it to send back intel as far away as the UK. It was powered by the Chernobyl power plant, which many of you probably have already heard of. Some believe that the massive amount of electricity needed to power this thing was what caused the infamous meltdown that led to the entire area becoming abandoned. Today, it pretty much stands in a contaminated area as a monument of paranoia during the Cold War. Number 8. Piscean Museum. The most famous building in the city of Kolomia is certainly the Piscean Museum, which is dedicated to Easter eggs. Decorating Easter eggs is taken very seriously by followers of the Orthodox Christian faith, and it's quite symbolic. The eggs are often used in ceremonies, and origins of the practice can date back to early Christians from Mesopotamia who spread north into Russia and Ukraine. Eggs are known as a sign of fertility, but also the symbol of an empty tomb. In any case, though, the museum is home to thousands of Piscenka, many of which are quite intricate and colorful. We bet you'd be hunting for Easter eggs if they were made of gold. No one is too old for that, right? Number 7. Rodina Mott. This thing stands 340 feet into the sky over the Kiev skyline, and it can be seen for miles. It's actually the 18th tallest statue in the world and even bigger than Lady Liberty in New York City. As a part of a museum in modern times, it's a reminder of Ukraine's past with the Soviet Union. Dedicated to the motherland, it was a common gathering point for troops and rallies. Although Ukraine has largely forbid the maintenance of Soviet statues, this one has remained. It's more of a symbol of independence and resistance now. Here you'll find tanks and artillery machines as well. Just recently, lawmakers made a deal which would remove the state emblem of the Soviet Union off the shield. They may replace it with something more Ukrainian. The statue is made with 560 tons of stainless steel, which was why many wanted to tear it down. Number 6. Poland and Ukraine border. These two Eastern European countries are great friends and share a border of 332 miles. Their borders are quite historical, and many researchers have been very curious about the linguistics, the history, and political difference between the two countries ever since the Soviet Union unoccupied this area. It's considered to be the most often crossed border in the EU, which is primarily generated by Ukrainians for tourism and trade. There's roughly 8 million people that live along this small stretch of land we call a border. What they do have in common, however, are the fish between the two. Despite all the differences, the two countries are best friends. Number 5. The Elephant's Foot. This hot toxic sludge we see in this image is still to this day extremely lethal. If you're exposed to it for about 30 seconds, you'll experience severe radiation sickness. Stand next to this for 4 minutes and you'll have only 2 days to live. When people say a nuclear meltdown happened here, that's literally what happened. The radioactive materials used to fuel this plant literally melted the core, and that's basically what we're looking at here in Chernobyl. Number 4. Amusement Park. You won't be taking your kid to this playground anytime soon. Not only due to the fact that it's extremely creepy, but it's also a part of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. This means your kid would suffer from radiation poisoning even if he manages to step foot here. This playground in this photo still stands despite the disaster that took place. Pripyat had many facilities that the families of the power plant would enjoy, but they never had the chance to enjoy this amusement park. It was set to open May 1st, 1986, just weeks after the meltdown took place. The radiation levels here vary, and it's believed that helicopters carrying radioactive materials use this place as a landing strip. Number 3. Golden Gate, Kiev. Did you think the Golden Gate in San Francisco was the only Golden Gate out there? There's a Golden Gate in the capital city of Kiev, which is a part of the 11th century fortifications of the town. Faced with the threat of having to deal with barbarians from various directions, Kiev made the decision to build the wall that would protect them. After the Mongols badly damaged the wall, it was buried, but then rediscovered in 1832. Later on, it was rebuilt by the Soviets in 1982, in which many believe to be a botched reparation. Historians wanted the Soviets to show the real facade of the gate without any renovations. Number 2. Unidentified Building. Walking through a park in Dnipro City, a photographer came across this odd-looking building near a pond during winter. It seems possible to come across ruins such as this while doing some hiking in Ukraine, but many projects we still don't know about could be out there, waiting to be explored. This could be anything from a missile silo to an auditorium similar to the one found in Bulgaria. What do you think this was used for? Let us know in the comments section, and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. And number 1, the Balaclava submarine base. The Soviets certainly had their fair share of strange military bases as well, and in this photo, we see the blue and green waters of this base, located under the city of Sevastopol in the Black Sea. What's a little strange about this place is that it's so secretive and so far inland because of the natural canal-like features. This formerly classified subbase was in full use up until 1993. The Russians called this place Balaclava, and there were plenty of munitions stored here. When the facility was decommissioned, no one knows exactly where the Soviets put the weapons, and it remains a mystery. It's known that Trident submarines once patrolled the seas and operated here. And maybe they still do. Now that the Russians have reclaimed Crimea, could they possibly still be using this underground submarine base?